Hey guys, so we're in the maze map that I made yesterday. I got a lot of questions on how that was possible, how did we do it, and what I was using. So in this video I'll be going over not only the algorithm, but how to actually build it in Yeeps. So let's go over the algorithm first. Now, if you just want to research it on your own, just go ahead and search up the origin shift algorithm, and you should just be able to find a few things on it. First, we had to define a few things. So, when I say, what is a cell? A cell is each of these, square pieces, or, oh, I almost fell off, or one of these rooms right down here. This right here is a cell, not including the doors, just this open area right here. Now that's important because there's a difference between cells and borders here, or passageways, which are just the doors basically in between the rooms. So these, I'll just call these passageways. So every single cell has 4 bordering passageways. Now if we come over here, we'll get to that in a second, but you can see there's 2 cells here, but they share passageways, okay? So that's going to be important for another concept soon. So how does this algorithm work? So there's really 3 steps, but I just added this to make it clearer. So the first step is getting the input. Okay, so your a cell is chosen as the quote-unquote origin. Okay, so you take that and then you clear whatever it's currently selecting. So we'll get into that in a second. You don't really have to know. I'll go in depth in a second. I'm just reading these. And then it chooses a specific direction to go next after it does all that, and then you just toggle that direction. So what it's doing is, let's say we start off with this blue square, okay? All of these borders, they're all the same. And yeah, so we set this as the new origin, okay? That's what that first step is. The second step is to delete all of its current selections. So you see how it's, see how this one is pointing this way? We want to clear this or close it off, that color, and then it picks a new direction. So it can go, this tile specifically can only go this way or this way, but for the sake of the future, we're just going to say it travels this way. So then, now that we've completed all 3 steps, you repeat. Now this guy selected this direction, so we're going to toggle it, and now this becomes the new origin point, and then it clears all of its doors and then shifts. Okay, so now you know how it works, but you might be still confused on how this creates a maze, because wouldn't it just be one straight path? Well, no, because what would happen is this one would choose this one, okay, and then eventually this one goes this way, and then it'll just make its way, let's say it makes its way over to this side, and then it goes through here. Now, even though this one cell is only selecting one direction, it still has 3 open sides, okay? So, through this process, it creates a perfect maze. You can search up the definition that if you want, but basically it just means you can access any cell of the maze to any other cell in the maze. Now, this is good and all, but I think it's easier to explain here, in case you didn't get it. So let's run through the algorithm and see it walk through, okay? So I'm just going to say I'm going to start with this, okay? Everything I go through I'll just paint yellow, I guess. So I'll start with this one. Oh, challenge, nice. And then I'm going to pick a direction. I am going to go this way, okay? So we select this path, and then we go over here, and we toggle this one. This one becomes the new origin. Okay, so we paint this. We keep this open, by the way. And then let's say we can go this way again. Okay, we toggle this. This becomes the origin. Now, something you can do with origin shift algorithm is it will actually go back on itself several times. So we clear all of its selection. Right now it doesn't have a selection. It's going to pick a random direction. But I'm going to head this way. Even though, yes, this is all right here, we're just going to remove this and make it point this way. So to a normal person running the maze, there is no difference between this and this. But the maze, it is important because now this one's selected and it can move in a different direction. So I'm going to say it goes this way. Eventually it makes its way this way. Right? This guy, we'll just say he chooses to go this way again and then chooses this way. And just like that, we've made a perfect maze. Now it's not a very interesting maze, it's only 6 cells. But, as you can see, we can get to any point from any other point. If we want to go here and make our way over here, we just gotta go around. And that's a perfect maze. Okay, so hopefully you understand the algorithm now. But how would you make that in this game? So if you come over here, there's a few things. Input. What you would need for an input is literally just a wire at the very bottom, okay? Just a 4-way wire so that you can input anything, any direction, any of the 4 cells surrounding it. And then the next step is choose a direction. Oh wait, no. Next step is clearing everything. Basically just build up one. And this will go clear everything, which we'll talk about in a second once I show you the door. And then you just want to choose a random direction. So I've already kind of built this part right here. It's basically a 4 answer randomizer. Comes here. You just gotta wire each of these to face different directions. Okay. This one would go that way. This one would go that way. All 4 directions, okay? And then just have this toggle. Again, I'll get into this in a second once I show you this. But yeah, we'll just have this toggle a direction. And then while it's toggling that direction, it will also travel and activate another thing, which is the toggle direction. So, but how do we toggle doors and how should that be set up? So, instead of just a toggle here, which you might assume would be the answer, just toggling your door on and off, right? But, as we've seen, things can go back on each other. So let's say this guy went over here, right? Toggled it, now the door's on, but then this one runs over it a second time, which by the way will happen a lot with this algorithm. It's made to constantly go over stuff. Now all of a sudden the door's off even though it should be on. So we need 2 toggles and that will end up looking like this. So for every door there's 2 toggles. Now say this was a cell over here and it chooses this direction, toggles it and opens. But then let's say this is selected, it would clear itself. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then this guy chooses to go that way. It also toggles and clears. So how would you clear it in the second step? Well, you remember that what I showed you right here, where it gets input, and then right here, you would actually go outward in this way. Don't actually use delays, by the way, that's unnecessary. Slow down. But basically, you would take this second line, which is right here, and you would wire it to that cell's toggle. So you would come over here and just put in here. So now whenever it's toggled, it will clear its currently selected direction, and then you just randomize which direction you would choose next instead. So you're replacing stuff. And yeah, so if you want to see the full thing in action, we can come down here. I'll show you down here. Let's find a regular cell. Okay, so here we have our input. So as you can see, hold on, is origin moving right now? Is origin dead? I think Origin's actually dead right now. We'll fix that in a second. But as you can see, we input to the bottom one. It goes up into the clearing thing, and you can see that's going over here, up into the door circuit, and it's clearing it. So if this one just so happens to be on, it will toggle it off. And right after that, it goes into the randomizer circuit, and it doesn't have to choose the same direction. It can choose any direction. That's the whole point of the randomization. So then it chooses to go this way. It toggles it, right? But you can see it doesn't just toggle it, it splits off, goes all the way around and into here, which toggles another cell. So that's how this whole maze operates. It's really just a repetitive build. It works, just repetitive. So right now it's off, but I can toggle it on. So me pressing this button would be the exact same as the Origin moving to this point. So press it, it chooses a direction, it clears, it changes, that clears, changes. It's pretty fast. It's just not fast when you're playing. See how it chose to go in a loop there. So it will go all over, but it's doing that. So yeah, that's how the origin shift algorithm works. That's how I built it in this game. If you have any more questions, you can comment down below. And I do plan on making, I actually have a community world for this map. It's not going to stay in Wires, although please visit Wires, it's a pretty cool code. I'm actually going to make another server for it, but not just for this map. I'm going to make a more relaxed version where you're not constantly fighting people, you're actually exploring mazes. But I haven't made that yet, so yeah, anyways, I'll update you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.